felt comfortable like you had the skills or the tools to do something about it?
Never?
Okay, this is good because I'm sure some of our panelists will be interested in that. So, I'm trying to move this big podium. My name is Carrie Goldman, and I am going to first introduce my co-founder of the Anti-Bullying Coalition, Chase Masterson. Chase is known for being one of the stars of the Star Trek. She was the Doggo Girl. Lita, raise your hand if everyone's
never mind.
She also has done amazing work with kids and adults who have come out of games through a group called Homeway Industries, trying to help them find a hero within and find ways to go forward in their lives after they've had great and traumatic experiences. And she and I have brought the coalition here because we really believe in trying to help bring this type of anti-bullying programming to Comic-Con.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. I'm really proud of having these people up here with us, and just really glad that this conversation is part of Comic-Con. Like you guys, I love pop culture, and I love what the genre stories tell us, that we can make a better world, that we can stand up for ourselves and for each other. One of the great things about that is that those stories that we love on the screen are important to us because they remind us of how real life should be. And it isn't always, but we can make those stories happen in real life. And that's one thing that we do in Homeway Industries, is that we help people to realize that their pasts don't have to be their presents or their futures. And one thing that we do with those kids that I want to really emphasize here is that your future can be great, and you can be extremely powerful, not in spite of your past, but partly because of it, because the things that you have learned as someone who has been bullied or witnessed bullying can be very, very powerful. You learn the tools that you need, and you get the strategies that you need in order to make a difference, to be strong for yourself and for other people. Hurt people, and healed people heal people. And so what I want to do today is to talk about how we can take those experiences and become very powerful out of them. And we've got an amazing group of panelists to talk about that with us. And we might also hear from you. So thanks so much for being here. And let's get on with it.
Okay.
You guys are so polite. Yes, that's right. That's
All
right.
right. So I'm going to introduce each of your panelists as I ask them a question, so that it'll be fresh in your mind who this awesome person is as they're talking. That's okay.
Such a dork.
It's okay. I introduced myself. So anyway, I'm going to start with Ashley Eckstein. Ashley, can you raise your hand and say hi to everyone? Ashley Eckstein was Ahsoka Tano in Star Wars: Clone-Wars. She was the voice talent. And she has gone on to start an amazing company called Her Universe, where she provides support and clothing and fandom for fangirls, not just a place where fanboys can go. Ashley, you say that your company, Her Universe, is two parts. 50% a merchandise line and 50% a community. How do you handle bullying in your own community? How do you prevent bullying from happening in your own community? Whether it's because someone is criticizing another person's body shape or size for clothes or other reasons.
Well, that's true. Is this on? Okay. That's true. From day one when we started Her Universe, I said it's 50% a merchandise line, but more importantly, 50% a community. And I've said it a lot, but I'll say it here today. I don't care if you come to Her Universe and never buy a single thing. What's more important to me is that you join the conversation. And to me, it's a place where, especially fangirls, because for so long, fangirls, they didn't really feel safe in this community. They felt like it was just a men and a boys club. And I also want to say that we're not here to say that sci-fi fantasy, that this world is just for girls. It's not just for girls, it's not just for boys, it's for everyone. It transcends gender. And I think we can see this on the floor, that, it's almost equal. It's literally like 50-50, which is amazing. But, so to go back to what I was saying is more importantly, Her Universe, I want it to be a safe place where fangirls can step into the spotlight, be rewarded and celebrated. And what I've noticed over the past couple of years is I feel like when we oftentimes read online, we think about all the negative comments and all of the mean things that people say, and we hear all of the negative stories and all the bad things that have happened to people. But something beautiful has happened at Her Universe, and I feel like it's not just me, it's the fans as well. We've kind of set a tone where it truly is a safe place, that people are not going to be bullied. And of course it's going to happen, but I feel like there's a no tolerance policy. So if there's somebody new that comes on to our boards and our pages and they say something that is bullying or not appropriate, the rest of the community steps in and says, no, don't say that, or they stand up for the person being bullied. And so what I've noticed is, in person, Carrie and Chase, we've often talked about how bullying can be, how we can improve it in person, where, sometimes if you have just a friend, somebody that stands up for you and you don't feel alone. And I've noticed that online, that you can still be somebody's friend and stand up online. Sometimes it can be really scary just to post a comment, and you can feel so alone. It's like you're the kid sitting by yourself at the lunch table. But if you see somebody that, is trying to strike up a conversation and is just happy to be there, write a comment. Start up a conversation with that person, because you don't know. That person could feel very alone and they're looking for companionship. They're looking for friendship. They're looking to be a part of the community. And that could be somebody that's being bullied.
And interestingly, in a lot of interviews with students, we find that kids, when they're online doing their activities, that if they write something and there's a Facebook like of it, just one, it makes them feel a little safer. And to the opposite effect, if someone writes something mean or hateful and you retweet it or you like it, you are now part of the problem. You are no longer just an innocent bystander.
You have no idea the power of just a couple words. Saying, wow, that's a really cool costume. How long did it take you to make it? That could literally make that person's day and give them so much more confidence. And I'm going to call out somebody right now, but in the front row is a girl named Jonna Marie. Say hello. Hi, Jonna Marie.
Hello.
Jonna Marie she's inspired me so much, because we do something called Fangirl of the Day, and we nominate a different fangirl on our website every single day. And Jonna Marie goes on, and oftentimes she's the only person that comments, but she comments on every single girl. She reads their blog that day, and she makes that girl feel special. And I don't think you realize what you mean to each and every girl and what your comments mean to them. And I just encourage us all that we can use the power of social media for good, and we can use it in anti-bullying, and quit the stipulation of, oh, there's so many mean comments. Well, how about let's throw out a lot of nice comments.
Thank you so much, Ashley. And thank you, Jonna Marie.
Yeah.
Thanks to all of you who took your time on a Friday afternoon to come be here in this particular panel with us.
Yeah.
We are so grateful to have you. The next person I'm going to allow a question to is Joe Gatto. Joe, raise your hand. To know Joe. He is one of the stars of the Practical Jokers on True TV. He has great followers on Twitter, Joe_Gatto. I believe it's the underscore. Right?
Underscore. That other guy gets a lot of followers.
But I'm gonna turn this around to something slightly more serious for a second, which is that as Joe was growing up, he was bullied. He was picked on, he was bullied, he was taunted until junior year of high school. Something changed junior year of high school, which was that Joe took it upon himself to try and find a way to make the bullying stop by using humor. And whereas it worked, because he was able to make the people laugh who had given him a hard time, and they suddenly found him funny and stopped giving him a hard time, and whereas it is wonderful to have skills to use, Joe also has recognized as an adult that that was sort of a victim-blaming mentality where the onus was on him to become so funny or whatnot that the bullying would stop. And so he actually doesn't subscribe to that theory. He wants the people who are the bullies to cut the crap. And he is here today to talk to you about why he thinks the onus of making bullying stop should be on the people that he refers to as the dickheads.
Yes. My message is simple. Bullies are dicks. So if you know a bully, they're a dick. And if you are a bully, you're a dick. But me, I was not always this cool cat that sits before you in this turquoise blue shirt. I was on the math meet. I was on the math team, yeah. I was on the bowling team, captain. So, it was, I was always like, I grew up, I made tests for my father out of an encyclopedia. Like, I was like weird like that, and that's what I would have fun with. And my safe zone was my family, and then where it got weird was around the neighborhood and with, in school, where I used to always get picked on and whatever, and then there was this guy, Rocco Lorenzano. Nice Irish guy. He was the middle linebacker, a huge football player at Monsignor Farrell where I went. And they would always like kid around me and pick on me. And then one day he was picking on me, and I just jumped on his back and I yelled at him, "Cut this shit or I'm gonna kick your ass, Rocco!" And everybody just started laughing because I was 104 pounds, soaking wet, and he was like this huge middle linebacker. So he just let it, and it just became a recurring joke that I would bully him. Like I literally would push him when I see him, I knocked the books out of his hands. He would say, "I'm sorry." It was so weird. And everything was a really funny joke. And then in hindsight, like now I always, with all the anti-bullying that's out there, you always hear about how it's the victim. It's very easy for the victim to feel like it's on them to change or on them to do something. Where it's true, it'll help you if you do take action, but a lot of people are victims because they're powerless. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. So for me, it's more like, my message is to the bullies, and my message to you guys is to, when you see bullying, to stand up for people that can't stand up for themselves. It's really on the bully to change. It's not on someone to try to find a way to cope with it, because that's basically what I did. I found a way to cope with it. It was a fun way, but there's a lot of people out there that can't cope. And now I don't have to deal with half the stuff that kids are dealing with now. They didn't have the internet. I was on AOL. That's stuff, like that's a whole different level of how this stuff goes. And to talk about your point earlier about how a nice comment online, it's so easy for the internet to be owned by haters, and it's so easy to flip the script and just become lovers on the internet. So I really find like a nice comment does go so much further than a comment filled with hate. So just get out there and say nice things online. I really will.
So I think it'd be safe to say that Joe believes, don't be a dick, flip the script.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
don't be a dick.
All right.
That's it.
All right, thank you so much. My next question is going to go to, we have two guys here they work together and they're together, so I'm going to ask each of them a question, but I'm going to let them talk one after another. So everyone hears about the idea of being a hero. And here at Comic-Con, hero is an idea that we embrace and we love. These guys are actually trying to teach people how to be real-life heroes. And I'm going to start with Adam. I'll start with you. Adam Hartley.